Hello, it's Lynn from Lynn's Corner, where you get your motivational and inspirational tea. My message today is more of a on a serious note today. And I'm addressing this message to mothers of young children. I just spent probably the last 2 days hearing testimony of the case of ZyahHarris. I don't know if you all know about that case or if you all have heard about it or whatever. I just watched it. Over the past couple of days, I watched pretty much all of the information and the footage and the videos and all of that. I felt compelled to make a video for mothers of young children. Please pay attention to who is around your children by themselves. And I'm specifically talking about family members and friends and boyfriends of family members and girlfriends of family members, because women can be pedophiles too, and that's something that doesn't get talked about enough, but women can be pedophiles as well. Pay attention who has access to your children when you're not around. Eight times out of 10, a pedophile is somebody that you know. Not only do you know them, but you trust them. They're the likable family member. They're the one everybody's crazy about. Or they're the friend everybody is crazy about. You would never suspect that person. Pay attention. That's number one. Number two, you want to be a safe space for your child. And if you are being hardcore, if you're somebody that they can't come talk to when they have a problem, and I mean no problem is too small, right? Don't dismiss your children. Let them come talk to you, even if you don't feel like it, even if you're tired, because I get it, I have 4 children. Even if you're tired, make yourself available to hear what your children have to say. If you start that from birth, or you start that from toddlerhood, they'll know that they can come to you at 6, 7, 8, and 9 when somebody tries to touch them inappropriately. But if you run such a tight ship that no one can talk to you, you're not emotionally available, then that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem down the line when they get presented with situations that they're going to need you for, if in fact that happens. And then number 3, believe your child when they come and tell you that somebody has touched them, even if it's somebody that you don't want to accept has done that. Believe them. Believe them. Believe them even if it's your man. Believe them even if it's your husband. Believe them even if it's the uncle. Believe them even if it's the grandfather. Believe them even if it's the favorite cousin. Believe them. Another thing too, it's not only adults that are touching small children, it's teenagers too. You got to be careful. Teenagers molest children too, because 9 times out of 10 somebody has molested that teenager and they never told nobody and they never got any help or anything like that. Pay attention to your children. And a 4th thing I want to say, I really want to reiterate that it is really, honestly, never who you think it is. It's always a mind-blowing person. Like, you're like, you got to be kidding me. I know so-and-so didn't do that. And sometimes either it is not a mind-blowing person or it's somebody that you don't want to have to get rid of. You don't want to have to cut your father off. You don't want to have to get rid of that man you got. You don't want to have to get rid of your husband. You don't want to have to stop talking to your uncle. But your child needs to know that you will go to bat for them and you are there for their safety. Your child needs to know that. And they need to know that early on from day one so they can come talk to you if something happens. Now, the situation with Ziah, that's different. Because it just seems like a lot of people were a part of the whole thing. And it seemed like it had been going on a long time, and she did not try to tell anybody anything. It just seemed like it was a lot of dysfunction going on in there. But what I'm telling you is your household doesn't have to be dysfunctional for somebody to slip in there when you're not looking, a family member, a friend, or somebody you really, really trust, and do something to your child. Girls and boys. We spent a lot of time talking about how he touched her. He molested that little girl. But you need to know that there are boys getting molested at almost the same rate as little girls. But boys, they're too embarrassed to tell. They're too embarrassed to tell. They don't want to tell. And then you don't hear about it until they're an adult. Pay attention to your children. Pay attention to who's around your children. Pay attention to their social media. Pay attention to their text messages. All of it. Pay attention because you really don't know what's going on. When I saw those, all of that footage and the hearing and everything, it just really broke my heart. Because somewhere along the line, even at school, the school had called the family and said that there was this man coming to pick up the little girl saying that he's the father. Well, they know who the man was, but they never dealt with him. Why? I don't know. That's a whole nother situation. But what I'm saying is this. 9 times out of 10, if it don't look right, it's not right. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. You see how people look at your children. And if you don't see, start paying attention. Start paying attention. Be very, 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 very protective over your children's space. And I did a video not too long ago about don't force your child to be hugging family members. They don't have to. You don't know what's in people's minds. I'm not saying that everybody's not right, but what I'm saying is we don't know what goes on in the minds of people. I don't care how well you think you know somebody. You don't know what's going on in people's minds. If your child doesn't feel right about somebody, if they act strange when that person comes around, if they look nervous or uncomfortable, or the flip side, if they're just a little bit too friendly, you gotta research and see what's going on there. You got to find out what's going on. Protect your children. I know this video is not like my usual videos, but my heart was really heavy watching and seeing what went on with that girl. And it took me back to, as I've been an educator for 32 years, I've seen scenarios. And I've seen scenarios where mothers didn't believe their child because you know why? They want to stay with that man. Fathers didn't pay attention to how the child was getting treated because they wanted to stay with that woman. Or it's a family member. Like I said, you don't want to believe Cousin Nate would do nothing like that. Cousin Nate, he's cool peoples. Pay attention to your children. Be a safe space. Believe them. Believe them. See you soon.